Every season I come to Stewart Hyder with a mitt full of hot leads and a whole bunch of excitement to chase them down. But this is the earliest in the year I've ever been this far north, and the road up into the mountains is actually still snowed in. We managed to find a neat little camping spot right on the side of the road here. The toe of the glacier is just below me. I need my glacier experience for the year, so I packed a small bag. Gonna see about hiking down there. I think the basic plan is to try and find my way down to the old mine road. It should be on the other side of this ridge running along here. Just this first stretch is looking awfully steep and willowed in. Just put the camera away. I was about to cross over that gap. I heard a bunch of rumbling across the valley, just on the fog line there. It's coming down and tumbled all the way down that crack. You can see it sliding down the face there. Pretty amazing getting to see this stuff firsthand, but I'd love to share it with you guys. Let's find a safer path. Got some grizzly tracks going through. At least he's heading that way. These glacier hikes are so deceiving because that sheet of ice out there is so big. Looks like it's right there. Looks like I'll hike for 10 more minutes and I'll be there. That's still a long ways away. But I'm seeing what looks to be a decent path to kind of scramble my way down. Feeling pretty good. Not seen one of these before, but I'm pretty sure this is an explosive to trigger avalanches. And it looks like the blasting cap is still in there. The rest of it's empty. Pretty cool though. Can't believe how hot it's getting today already. I'm on my final descent here down to the ice. Not really looking forward to the hike back up. Woo! Look at that. Absolutely beautiful out here. Kind of funny. A lot of these communities I visit, tourists and travelers will ask me if I got any recommendations for any good hiking trails. Never understood that question. With the right pair of boots and the right breakfast, everything's a hiking trail. Don't even have to bring water on this hiking trail. Look at that. Before I go out on that glacier, I think it's important to note, walking on this glacier doesn't really fall into the category of something safe. Might fall into a crevasse. The whole glacier might let go and tumble down into the Pacific. But that's the risk you take, and it's a risk I'm willing to take to go for a radical walk out on this glacier. So let's just get past it and enjoy it. The history up in these mountains is pretty extensive. They've been mining, exploring, and dying, with all due respect, for like 100 and something years. Look at this old glove sitting out here on the glacier. Leather glove. There's a bunch of milled lumber here. I'm guessing that probably came down in an avalanche, but they used to access the mines from the glacier. Hike all the way. Crazy. Look at that. I mean, basically that's what I'm trying to avoid out here, but I'm so curious about that big scary glacier hole, but I can see water trickling down the back side of it, and I'm sure it goes down many hundred feet to a location I would never come back from. So let's explore over here. There's one thing over here that I want to go look at. Does not really look like a rock. And I'm happy to see this is in fact not a rock. Looks like iron actually. And it looks like it's been in a fire. If I was to make a guess, I would say that this probably was on a mine up there somewhere, and it tumbled down in an avalanche, and then it's rode the glacier all the way to here, and it's gonna keep on riding it until it's down there in the Pacific. Well, I've got to go back and get my bag because it has the emergency beacon in it, but I've gone this far, I may as well cross the glacier, touch the other side. Not many chances in life do I get an opportunity to do that. All right, let's finish crossing this thing. I'd like to teach you just a little bit about glaciers and how some of this wood probably got out here. I've made my way basically to the center of the glacier, and you can see there's land out here. But if you look up, you'll see basically a path. Something that a lot of people don't realize about glaciers is they are moving. A lot of people describe it as a river of ice. As the snow is deposited on the top, it pushes the ice down and this whole thing flows. That's how glaciers actually carve out valleys. How long exactly it takes for this glacier to move something from up there all the way down here, I have no idea. Could be hundreds of years, could be thousands of years. I'm guessing it's moving at a relatively good pace because you'd expect to see more rocks have gone down, because these rocks are basically just a thermal mass. The sun heats them up and they'll sink down, but these ones are kind of sitting on top. But with climate change these days, the glacier could be melting at a pace that the rocks can't even keep up with. Pretty neat out here in the middle though. Lots of cool stuff to see. And some people might be thinking, where does all this water go? All these little holes and creeks and water flowing on top? Well, the entire Salmon River actually flows right underneath this glacier. So hundreds of feet below my feet, there is a large river roaring away. I think that's about as close as I want to get. Quite a lot of water running through here. I guess it's time to put the drone up for a closer look. It's really difficult to get a scale of how big this thing is unless you're here, and specifically from the viewpoint, because this glacier splits off in two different directions. But let me walk you through kind of what I'm looking at right now. I got the drone way over there. It's a half a kilometer up and 2 kilometers away, and I'm looking up the Salmon Glacier up towards the ice fields. If I turn to the right, you'll see where it splits off, and that actually the glacier is going left there. But that's Summit Lake, which you're looking at. And from here I can't quite tell if it's full or not, but that lake fills up in the winter time, and in the spring it lets loose, and the Salmon River floods down into Hyder and then down into the Pacific. If I continue turning, the viewpoint is somewhere right up there, and then now we're looking down towards the toe. And I'm about halfway down towards the end there, and then you can see there's kind of like a lake or a buildup down there, but you can see Salmon River, and it goes from here about 17 kilometers down into the Pacific Ocean. And I don't know how far this glacier continues up, but it goes a long ways, and it actually goes up into the ice field, which connects to literally dozens of other glaciers. Crazy the difference between this side and the other. A lot of material sliding down here. So I'm still on top of the glacier, but there's a layer of material over the whole thing. Check this out. Where the water's running through, it's melting the ice and moving the material off it, and you can see that beautiful blue ice. Just veins of it going through the slide. Pretty cool. Who knows how deep that thing is? Gots to be careful out here. Enjoyed a nice relax, ate a bag of crab legs. Now it's time to make my way back. Home is somewhere right up there, somewhere up there. Let's get into it. Wow, what an absolutely exhilarating day out here. I think I found a better route going back up. Looks like if I follow this creek all the way, at the very top there's a set of cliff and stuff, just some large rocks.
Hopefully I can kind of climb and scramble over that. I'm not sure if it goes to the mine road or the regular road, but pretty steep. This is kind of where I came down, right through this bedrock there. Not nearly as easy going back up. And we're officially off the glacier, safe and sound. Just gotta climb this mountain now. It might appear scarier. Climbing this hard rock way easier than sliding around on that loose stuff. The GoPro makes things look steeper anyways. Kind of just a beautiful place to hike around. Oh, look at that quartz vein. Just beneath that, big pocket of nugs. Geez, let me tell you, a hike like that really makes you appreciate just walking on a regular road. You can appreciate the waterfalls without having to wonder if you got to climb up it or go over it. And the icing on today's cake, the beautiful view of the rig. And if I'm really lucky, Emmy put a beer in the fridge for me.
This is actually my 4th year getting to come and explore around Salmon Glacier, but my first time around the toe. And I think the road being blocked is actually kind of a blessing in disguise, because I've never had an opportunity to go down and actually walk around on a glacier like that. But I think it's time to mosey back down the mountain, retrieve the boat, and put Stewart Hyder in the rear view. This is our last bit of ocean until the Arctic, and probably the last car wash for a while. So just flushed out the outboard, gonna clean up the rig, wash the boat, and we'll be ready to mosey north. Can you believe it took us till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon to get out of Stewart? But that's because it's the last place to get a lot of things. So let's talk logistics. If you're traveling the Glacier highway, Stewart is going to be the only town where you're going to find cell phone reception and Wi-Fi. It's going to be your last grocery store until Dease Lake. It's one of the only stations where you can get propane, but keep in mind they will charge you for a complete bottle fill even if your bottle is half full. It's going to be the last bit of affordable fuel. It's usually on par with Mesmerized Junction, but if you can make it from Mesmerized to Yukon on a tank of fuel, you're going to save yourself a lot of money, but don't push it because there's no salvation in between. Stewart is the only auto parts store on the Cassiar Highway, so if you need anything or you think you need anything, order it into Stewart and then bring it with you because you're not going to find it until you're in Yukon, maybe even Whitehorse. I want to give a great big thank you to everyone in Stewart that helped make this year's visit extra special. And most of all, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It doesn't matter what the world might say, we could do it anyway. Rise above, never fear the fall. Move mountains and break these walls. Yeah, they know that we're fearless. Touch the sky.